Hi guys, it's Lori. How are you today? It's going to be a real scorcher today where I am in New Hampshire. It's only like 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's already very, very warm. I think it's like 90 degrees. I have my dogs out now so that they can go. I don't let them walk. Anywhere we go, they have to walk on the concrete to get to the grass. So I don't let them out high noon because I'm afraid they're going to burn their pads. But so they're out doing their thing right now, and I figured I would talk to you. You know, thinking about the shift and how everything has changed, and I've even noticed a difference in animals. We have a lot of different animals around here, and it's funny that I've been thinking and in prayer I've been talking with God about animals. You're watching them and watching how they interact, whether it be the wild animals that I see like at the zoo or on TV, or the small animals that I see around here. Now I don't, live right in the woods. Although I was at a friend's house the other night and they have bear and moose and deer. While I was there, deer ran through their yard. On the way home, I saw a moose. We could hear the bear. Um, but around where I am, we have a lot of squirrels, birds, lots and lots of birds, and skunks. And the skunks, now I know it's that time of year and I know that they're out. I know it's nothing unusual, but these two skunks seem to be around whenever I'm around. No matter what time of day it is, they come around. And I thought, okay, what is this skunk trying to tell me? So I prayed about it. I was thinking, because a lot of times if an animal appears in your life, even if it's a common animal to your area, if there's something unusual, like deer is very common around here, but a lot of times, at least especially a couple of years ago, I always knew if I saw a deer run past me or come close to me in my travels that God was answering with a positive. Even though they're common, because the way that I would see them would be uncommon. And that's how I was thinking about this skunk, or these two skunks that come around. And one of them is really unique. He's more white. You know how they usually have like the black? Well, he has white. It's really kind of cool. Um, but, I was thinking about it. Skunks. And this is what I heard in prayer. So I want you to think about the animals that have shown up in your life in an unusual way. Are they trying to tell you something? Watching them, could you learn something from them? That kind of thing. Um, so anyway, I was thinking about it. When I was young in school, I was just talking about this the other day. I was always very, believe it or not, very quiet. I was uncomfortable around people. Of course, I was hearing. I would pick up on people's emotions, thoughts, feelings, and it would come at me. When I'm around people, I'm feeling all of this stuff, and then I would feel a lot of spiritual energy, a lot of spirit around. So I didn't know what to do with that, and I remember that from my earliest memories. I remember this like constant, all the time. So being around a lot of people made me uncomfortable. Even going to school and I thank God I went to a small school, but even with like say, 15 or 20 kids in my class, even though I knew these kids, I all day long I'm picking up these emotions and on the teachers and whatever. And not only the emotions, but what's going on in their worlds and that kind of stuff. So I was always uncomfortable. So I was very, very quiet. I was shy. I was uncomfortable in my own skin. So I just didn't speak, and I didn't really show a whole lot of emotion. It was kind of my protective bubble, and I was like that for a long time. And what I realized is that people got a different impression. Now, when you're really quiet like that, a lot of times people think you're snobby. Nobody thought I was snobby because I was always, if anybody needed help, like the underdog, I was always there. And somehow people knew that. The underdog would always kind of come to me. Um, but I recall one time this girl, Jean, Jean was bigger than I was. I was just a skinny little thing in school, and I'm not a tall woman. So she came up to me and she asked me if I would protect her. And I thought, me? That's what was going through my mind. Me? Are you kidding me? I don't fight. But between me being poor, and I went to a private school, so you could kind of tell I was poor. I always had hand-me-downs and that kind of stuff. And in comparison, when you go into a private school, they usually have money, so they were wearing all the Abercrombies of that day, and whatever. So, and being quiet, they read me as tough and somebody to somebody not to mess with, and um, someone that would be honest. And I don't know how they got all that out of me being quiet, but they did. And I did. I went up to the bully for her, and the bully actually backed down. Now, inside, I was terrified, but the bully didn't know that. None of the rest of the school knew that. It was actually a big deal for the school. It was kind of crazy, but I'm only bringing this up to bring me back to the skunk. Now, if you think about a skunk is a small animal. My phone's getting too hot, so I might not be able to finish this video. A skunk is a small animal. It doesn't cause any problems. They're not a prey animal. But yet, did you notice people, other animals, whatever, run from the skunk or try to be very careful not to bother the skunk because we know that it has that sprayer. Now, a skunk doesn't spray just to spray. A skunk sprays as a defense. A skunk will spray if only if necessary. A skunk will spray to protect itself, right? But yet, even if a skunk never sprayed a day in its life, other animals, people, we back away from the skunk. I saw a skunk the other night. I was getting something out of the car, and I just thought, it was funny because I just thought to myself, I wonder if that skunk's around. And then I look away, and there he is. My phone shut off because it got too hot. So anyway, I'm getting something out of the car, and I thought to myself, I wonder if that skunk's around. And I kind of turned around, and there he was. It's almost as if we both thought, he was probably thinking, I wonder if people are around. We were both looking at each other, and he kind of took off. I slowly went into the car, and it got me thinking. And then in prayer, I was talking with God about it, and isn't it interesting that the skunk doesn't have to do anything? Everybody's well aware of his sprayer and the ability that he has. It's not like he's some big tough animal like a bear or a lion or a tiger, but he has this defense weapon. So how about this? If people know who you are, if your reputation precedes you, if people know you have integrity, if people know that you're a godly person, if people know that you stand in faith, your reputation precedes you, and you don't ever have to prove it. It is what it is. That's what the skunk's there to teach us. Let the negative energies, let the devil know that your faith is so strong that no matter what he throws at you, no matter what the world looks like, no matter if you're going through a divorce and you don't want that divorce, and God has told you you're not going to get that divorce, if he's truly told you that, and you're not just fooling yourself, but you're standing on the promises of God. Another promise of God is that he will take care of us. You stand on that promise, and you let that devil know that my faith is strong enough. So your reputation precedes you. You don't ever have to prove your faith, although how do we let our reputation precede us when it comes to faith, when it comes to integrity? Well, it's who you are. Do you walk in faith every day, or do you walk around doubting? A preacher was talking about this the other day, and I thought it was perfect. He was talking about birds, and in comparison, compared them to people, to us. And he used the canary, the buzzard, or like a seagull, like a vulture type bird, the peacock, and the eagle. Okay? So the canary lives in a cage. It's content to live in a cage. It's content to be chained to worldly values, to problems. It's content to be chained to a life. How many of us live, especially in the Western world, live on credit? You want something, you can't afford it, okay, I'll just get it anyway. And then you're chained to that. The Bible tells us not to do that. Why? Because we're going to be chained to it. How many people won't give up? They won't give up the quote unquote good life of adultery, of doing what they want, and they live in misery, right? Okay, so the canary lives in a cage. Other people feed it. It never goes anywhere. It never stands its ground. It never speaks up. How many people are content to let others take care of everything else? How many people are content to let other people look up the facts and that sort of stuff? Okay, then like the vulture, the seagull. Well, if you've ever been to the beach or even to, like, say, a McDonald's or something in that area, seagulls are vulture-like birds. They eat dead things, so rotten. They like rotten things, and they squawk and they squawk and they squawk like a person who just sits around and complains and brings everybody down, sucks the life out of people around him, never does anything to change it, just kind of flies around looking for what's available, never goes too far, and just complains all the time. Negative, makes people negative around them, just negative. Then there's the peacock, the beautiful peacock, especially the male peacock, but I'm not just talking about men here. Spreads its feathers and it's an absolute beauty. And it struts around and shows how great it is. Never really doing anything though, right? Never getting up there and soaring and flying and going and changing things. And then there's the eagle. And like the preacher said, the eagle is designed differently. It's got a wingspan of like 8 or 9 feet. When it lets out its wings, it catches the wind, and its wings are like, they're separated, so they're kind of like fingers, and it catches the wind. And the eagle can soar like no other bird. And you know what else is really cool about the eagle? When they have babies, right? So the mom will probably lay eggs, and both parents take turns taking care of the eggs. They both go out and hunt, and they both take care. Then when the eggs hatch, they say there's, 3 or 4 baby eaglets, and they really take care. The mom, before the eggs hatch, she gets some breast feathers out. She makes a nice, comfortable bed, and they live like that. The eaglets live being fed by mom and dad, being totally protected, totally cared for. And then when it comes time for the eaglet to learn how to fly, the mom will all of a sudden change. Now, the eaglet doesn't know what's going on. They're just like all of a sudden, wait, what's happening here? What's happening to me? Why is mom and dad being different? Why are they being negative to me? So, because remember, the eaglet doesn't know what's next. So mom comes in squawking and squawking, and she starts to push the baby out of the nest. Well, unbeknownst to the baby, dad's soaring around up top, and he's watching, never taking an eye off that baby. And when mom pushes him out, and he starts to fall because he doesn't know yet that he can fly, before he crashes into the rocks or hits the ground, dad swoops down with his big wingspan, and he catches the baby, and he flies back up and brings the baby back into the nest. And mom starts the whole process all over again until baby learns to fly. And dad will never, 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 the way God designed it, is that eagle will never, the little baby eagle will never fall faster than its dad can swoop down and catch him. And that's exactly the same thing with God and us. God will not let us crash into those rocks. And yeah, he may let us fall in order to teach us to soar, to fly, to go for it. But we can never fall faster than he can catch us as long as we have faith in him. He's trying to teach us faith. You know what else we can learn from the eagles? They do everything together. The female eagle never says, well, I don't like things this way, I'm doing too much. Or the male never says, well, I'm done with you, you bitch too much, I'm out of here. They do things together, and they never question it. They don't question their roles. But think about that. Let your faith, let your integrity precedes you so that the negative will know right away. We got to do an awful lot to make this faith bend, and even then it doesn't work. And one way to do that, take a look at an eagle and know that you can't fall faster than Daddy can come and swoop you back up. All right, you guys, have a great day.